Welcome to day 2. We hope all of you are excited about being back with us and you enjoyed all the activities from yesterday. It was really exciting and a point of awe to see all the great AI work that's happening across the UT system. It really shows you the power, the intellectual property that we have and what we can do individually as UT campuses and definitely collectively as a UT system. And so it was amazing. And then the poster presentations were really exciting. We had 88 poster presentations with students and faculties showcasing their work. And then we were even able to see the robot from UT Health do its thing. And so it was really a great event yesterday, and we hope everyone enjoyed it. So this morning, we're going to switch it up a little bit, and it's still going to be UT focused, but we're also going to invite our industry partners to come and participate with us and talk about the work that they are doing between our campuses and from an industry perspective. So we're going to get started with day 2, and I'm going to turn it over to Tom Luby for the welcome.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Tom Luby. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer of Texas Medical Center. And it's a pleasure to welcome all of you from across this great state and industry partners, I guess, from around the world here to TMC. I thought I'd kick it off today with a story and then a couple of thoughts to share from the story. So the story is the roots of the Texas Medical Center. If you live in Houston and people say, where do you work? And you say Texas Medical Center, everybody knows it as a geography in town. It's, southwest of downtown. It's a big medical complex. Most people say, what hospital do you work at? I don't work at any of the hospitals, but that's how people think about it. It's destination, and you go typically to see a doctor as a patient. It actually started in 1946. A visionary gyne-onc, Dr. Ernst Bertner, had the idea to create the world's largest medical complex. And I wrote this down because the quote is a lot of fun. So this is from Ernst Bertner. The Texas Medical Center is a project of such magnificence that even when presented in the simplest language, it cannot but challenge the imagination of every professional man or layman who gets a real conception of its immense opportunities for service to mankind. So now Ernst Bertner had the I don't know if it was luck or probably planning. He lived on the top floor of what was known as the Rice Hotel at the time. So the Rice Hotel was the swanky part of town. So if you lived on the top floor, you lived next to some very influential people. And two of the people that he lived close to were I would say the administrators of the Monroe Dunaway Anderson Foundation. So MD Anderson made his money in cotton, made a lot of it, had no children, and so donated all of it to his foundation. Significant capital at the time. And Ernst Bertner convinced them to give him $100 million to build the TMC. So ChatGPT tells me that's the equivalent of about $1.6 billion today. And it was a master planned community. Literally, you can look at the old maps about how Ernst Bertner thought about building the TMC. So fast forward to today, and his vision was correct. It's probably the largest medical cluster in the world, 60 some odd member institutions, as we call them, all together, 5 large enterprise systems, some of them represented here today. So how did it happen? Well, they bought 140 acres of land from the city right next to Herman Hospital at the time, and the foundation chartered the land to be only for use by not-for-profits that were focused in healthcare, so healthcare services, education, so medical schools, nursing schools, pharmacy schools, and research, so basic science research. It's the only people who could be on that land, and the conditions, the ground lease conditions were $1 per year per acre for 99 years, renewable once. So they gave away the land, and quickly attracted a number of brand institutions. Baylor College of Medicine was the first to move out of Dallas down here, and then there was a statewide competition for the Comprehensive Cancer Center of Texas, which the medical center won and has become MD Anderson as we know it today. So if you come to the medical center as a patient, it's a great place to get better. You're interested in being a healthcare professional, it's a wonderful place to be trained. And there's some of the best in leading basic science research taking place on this campus. The one thing that never happened, never really took hold, was commercialization of all the great clinical insights, the talent that we had, the basic science discoveries. Stuff from the medical center has been commercialized and has had an important impact on healthcare, but it always went elsewhere to commercialize, mostly to the coasts. And so 10 years ago, there was this idea of like, well, let's see if we can change that. Is there an opportunity for us to think about having commercialization take hold here and create a life sciences hub as part of the medical center? The first thing that had to happen, though, was we had to change the charter for the medical center. I said before, it's a not-for-profit only residency. And so the board and the leadership, Bill McKeon, the president and CEO of TMC, changed the ground lease and conditions in 2 spots, and this is one of them here at Helix Park. This was a 37-acre parking lot for many, many years, and they changed the underlying conditions to allow for-profit activity to take place. So that was step 1. Step 2 was start to talk about commercialization and create the tools that would be needed in order to be able to do that. And so from that, Texas Medical Center Innovation was formed, which is a group that I have the pleasure to be part of. And what we focus on is creating the opportunity for entrepreneurs to be successful here at TMC, and lots of ways that we do it. We have a venture fund, we run accelerators, we have incubators, and we do this all over, just adjacent to here at an old former Nabisco bakery. But we won't talk about that. We're going to talk about this building here. So one of the things that we recognized right away as we started to think about how do we promote commercialization was to promote collaboration here at the medical center. So here, you got the whole UT systems. Everybody's together thinking about healthcare and AI. And thinking about collaborations, how do we, you know, as this building is called the TMC 3 building, the 3 stands for collaboration, so 1 + 1 = 3. If you think about it from a collaborative perspective. So how do we drive that on the campus? And so place is one way to do it. You got to bring people together. You got to have them in the same space. And so we had this thought about, well, and actually Bill tells the story. He had MD Anderson come one day and say, hey, we need more land. Texas A&M came and say, hey, we need more land. UT Health says, hey, we need more land. He said, well, why don't we think about doing something together? Rather than what traditionally had happened at the medical centers, they would get land, they would build a building. The buildings would be right next to each other, but nobody went between the walls. And so what can we do something that's more collaborative? And out of that, the building you sit in, the concept for it was born. So this is the TMC 3 collaborative building. It's for the first time in the history of the medical center, it's co-owned, co-managed, staffed by 4 different institutions. MD Anderson's one, UT Health the other, Texas A&M the third, and then Texas Medical Center as well. And the whole point of this building is to translate things. So on the second floor, many of you probably been through the building. Second floor, the shared labs between MD Anderson, A&M, and UT Health. Third floor, we have Portal Innovations, our partner to think about commercialization. Fourth floor is TMC and our Venture Suite and the Allison Institute. And you come here every day and you run into people and you learn what they're doing and how you could potentially collaborate with them. So in the spirit of that, in the spirit of collaboration, I welcome you to day 2. I hope you all have the opportunity to engage, interact, be thoughtful with each other, lean in, and enjoy the day. Sounds like a wonderful program. Lots of industry here today, lots of opportunity to think creatively, not competitively, collaborate, and have a great day. And plus, it's Friday, and it's only a half day of programming, so you're all out of here early after lunch, too. So lots of things to look forward to. So thanks, everybody, for the chance to welcome you. We're really glad to have you here, and enjoy the day. Thanks.